If you've just gotten a PCOS diagnosis, you might be feeling, well, pretty overwhelmed, and you are definitely not alone in that. But what if the key to managing your symptoms was already sitting in your kitchen? Today, we're going to break down a practical, expert-backed guide to getting a handle on polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS, naturally. We're talking about the power of diet and lifestyle. Okay, let's get into it.
A diagnosis like this can feel like a huge weight, right? This quote it gets it. But here's the good news, the really empowering part. The small choices you make every single day can make a real, noticeable difference in how you feel.
So before we jump into the solutions, we've got to understand the problem. What's actually happening inside your body with PCOS? And maybe more importantly, how does the food you eat fit into this whole puzzle?
For a lot of women, the main issue behind PCOS is something called insulin resistance. Okay, think of it like this. Insulin is a key. Its job is to unlock your body's cells to let sugar in so you have energy. But with insulin resistance, that key is, well, it's kind of rusty. It doesn't work so well. And that leaves too much sugar just hanging out in your bloodstream. This is the core thing we need to address. And believe it or not, food is our #1 tool to do it.
And this right here shows you the chain reaction. It all starts with certain foods, the sugary refined stuff. That causes a huge spike in your blood sugar. So your body panics a little and releases a flood of insulin to deal with it. Now, in women with PCOS, that insulin surge can actually tell the ovaries to start making more male hormones. And that is what can make symptoms like acne, hair issues, and irregular periods even worse. It's a tough cycle for sure. But here's the most important part. It's a cycle you can actually break.
So how do we do it? How do we break that cycle? It really does start with what you put on your plate. So let's build a meal that's designed to work with your body, not against it.
First up, carbs. And let's be clear, carbs are not the bad guy. But the type of carb you choose makes all the difference. It's all about how fast they release sugar. So over on the left, you've got complex carbs. Think of these as slow-burn fuel. They break down nice and easy, giving you steady energy. But the refined carbs on the right, they're like throwing gasoline on a fire. They burn super fast, cause those big blood sugar spikes, and kickstart that whole hormonal cycle we're trying to avoid.
Next up, protein. You can honestly think of protein as your blood sugar's best friend. It helps slow everything down, preventing those crazy spikes and crashes. Lean sources are awesome, and fish like salmon are basically superstars because they also have omega-3s that fight inflammation, another big piece of the PCOS puzzle. The processed stuff on the other side, it's often full of trans fats that just add more fuel to that inflammatory fire.
And we have to talk about fats. For so long, fat got a bad rap, but your body absolutely needs healthy fats. They're the building blocks for your hormones. This slide just lays it out perfectly. The healthy guys, like olive oil, nuts, and seeds, give your body the exact materials it needs to find hormonal balance. The harmful trans fats, you guessed it, they just cause more disruption.
Okay, and just to wrap up the food part, here are a few other things to keep on your radar. Everything on this list can mess with your hormones, make insulin resistance worse, or just cause more inflammation. The goal isn't to be perfect overnight. It's really just about starting to notice how these things might be making you feel.
Now, a good diet is a total game changer, no doubt. But it's only one piece of the puzzle. To really manage PCOS, we have to look at the whole picture. Your daily habits and how you handle stress can be just as powerful as anything on your plate.
You know, exercise is one of the best ways to make your body listen to insulin again. And you've got great options. A simple daily walk can be incredibly effective. Strength training is amazing because building muscle is like creating little sponges that soak up all that extra sugar from your blood. And then there's yoga. It's so much more than just stretching. By calming your nervous system, it can lower your stress hormones, which has a direct, positive effect on both your insulin and your reproductive hormones.
Okay, I know that was a ton of information, and the most important thing is turning all this knowledge into action without getting totally overwhelmed. So, the million-dollar question is, how do you actually start?
This timeline just makes it all feel doable, doesn't it? The secret is to just forget about changing everything at once. Let's focus on this week, just this week. Can you swap white rice for brown rice at just one meal? Can you go for a 15-minute walk after dinner? That's it. That's the start. And then next month, you build on it. This is how you create habits that actually stick around and become second nature.
And as powerful as all these changes are, it is so important to remember that this isn't a journey you have to take by yourself. In fact, you shouldn't. Getting professional, personalized guidance is absolutely crucial for your health and safety. You've probably seen a million ads online for supplements that claim to help PCOS. And you know what? Some of them might actually be helpful.
But, and this is a big but, you have to talk to your doctor first. Every body is different, and trying to figure it out on your own can be a waste of money at best and actually harmful at worst.
So look at this list, not as a shopping list, but more like a list of questions for your next doctor's appointment. These are some of the things that research shows might help with PCOS. This is all about starting an informed conversation with your doctor to figure out what, if anything, is the right move for you.
And you should know, none of this advice is just pulled out of thin air. This whole approach is based on the incredible clinical expertise of specialists in the field. People like Dr. Saraswati Ramesh, who has spent her entire career focused on gynecology and holistic wellness.
And a number like this, it just says it all. We're talking about more than 4 decades of real-world, hands-on experience helping women with these exact same challenges. This isn't just theory, it's proven, practical advice that comes from a lifetime of caring for patients.
So, let's end with this thought. While there might not be a cure for PCOS, there is something way more powerful: control. You have the ability to manage your symptoms, to influence your hormones, and to feel so much better. So after everything we've talked about, just ask yourself this: what is the one small change, the one first step you're going to make for yourself starting today?